All things in moderation. Keep it in check. Does that make sense?
That does.
You know you always do that, right? The investigating.
I do.
He did that with a girl I was talking to.
Oh, but tell Ty about the story. This was my favorite.
I gotta hear this.
Or you want me to say it?
Did she take my quiz?
I'll say it.
Okay.
No. Okay, so I met up with this girl on Tinder. We went on 3 dates in 4 days.
Wow.
She lives in a different country.
Okay.
I'm
what
nervous
country?
about Australia.
Okay.
She's here in Vegas. Okay. We go on 3 dates. Everything's great. Sure. We kiss. It's cool. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I brought it up to Graham. Graham goes, he investigates her Instagram, finds a photo with a guy.
Hidden.
It was a hidden photo with a guy. She
How
goes
do you find a hidden photo? You call Zuckerberg unhide.
All of her photos of her in a bikini. Every single one of them.
All right.
But she would have this is my story, Jack. But she would have somewhere it's like 5 photos. And I went through one. And it was like the third photo in was her like with a guy.
Yes.
And I click this guy's profile.
Yes.
Because they were a little too close.
Yes.
And it had her name as his Instagram bio with a heart.
So
and he was
I knew
privated, by the way. So it was a private account. And then
she's his girlfriend.
well, we didn't know that yet. Okay. I FaceTimed her and I was like, hey, what's going on with this? She's like, oh, it's my ex. We broke up. He's inactive on social media.
And I told him that if you ask a cheater, are you cheating? They're going to say no. So it was pointless to even ask.
Here's my answer to you. If you want my weird worldview.
It gets better.
Okay, Graham wants to. Okay, so hold on a second.
The investigative
I have to share this.
The best
I have
part
to share
is
this.
not happening.
Okay. So basically,
I want to say it. You say it.
Graham DMs the guy. Well, it was my idea. Okay. Graham DMs the guy. Okay. He gets back to us. We call him and say, hey, just letting you know, I went on a date with this girl. What's the deal with you and her? And he's all, and he gets all angry. He's all, we've been dating for 2 years. I bought her a car. I gave her thousands of dollars. Yeah. We have been together in a loving relationship. Check this out. Sends me a photo of his wall, just Polaroids of them all on the wall. And he said, thank you so much. This restores my faith in humanity.
Restores and both destroys and restores at the same
moment. The fact that someone would go out of their way to give this guy a heads up, it's the bro code. If that's happening, you gotta let the other guy know. He said that we were guardian angels, but he was saying what tipped him off was that she was posting these fun photos and he didn't know who was taking the photos. Because it looked like in every place, like she's having a great time. It's like you're not going to be on Hollywood Boulevard alone.
Yes,
having
that's why
someone
if a girl sent you like a third-party nude picture, like, who the fuck's taking this picture? It's like, hey, maybe I want you to have this video of me.
But she said that she would just find random strangers, and he couldn't pin her on anything. So he just chose to believe her, but he had suspicions. So we restored faith.
And he investigated everything. He got down to the nitty-gritty.
I knew it. But that was my intuition.
Investigative journalist.
But here's the thing, okay? I'm going to play devil's advocate because I see both sides. And this is why I was saying, if it was me and I was casually dating this woman, there's no bro code. I'm like, don't tell me. I'm already assuming if you swim with the sharks, don't be surprised if you get bit. If a dude's dating a girl and her Instagram has a PayPal on it, he should have known he was getting bit. So
I knew, of course.
The bro code wasn't needed. What the dude needed was eyeballs and non-delusion.
But he got the eyeballs through us.
Yeah, but he should have been non-delusional. That man is, I'm not sure you can save that man.
He was a young guy. I think this was his first relationship.
Yeah.
He was obsessed with her.
Yes.
I think that's a learning experience you got to go through as a guy. Get your heart broken like that, and you can move on.
Yeah, but even better is to learn to read people. Because you got to be careful of getting your heart broken too many times because sometimes it doesn't go back and you stay in that permanent cynicism place. I think, here's the thing. First off, humans pursue short-term mating relationships. Lots of women and lots of men do. Ethics is a complicated question because in every scenario, if you heard her side, sometimes there's another side. I'll give you an example. I knew a very similar situation. It wasn't to me, but it happened to my friend. When the girl was confronted, she said, I'm dating a man that told me he'll kill me if I break up with her. He said, I will kill you. He was a jealous Latin guy. And so she's like, yes, I'm cheating on him because I don't love him. I've told him 20 times. He won't let me break up with him. And I need to find another man so I can move into another relationship because hopefully that dude might even protect me. So there are other sides. That's why I say the investigative journalist must, to be the true ethical one, must interview the girl. Now, if she's a pure liar, that's fine. But you wouldn't be surprised. There's an old proverb. Every man's story sounds good until you let the other person speak and cross-examine. You never know. I tried to break up with a girl once. Would not. She's known. If you Google Ty, I won't say which one. If Ty Lopez girlfriend, couldn't break up with her.
TyLopez.com/girlfriends.
No. If you just look Ty Lopez girlfriend, I do not have that. I do not have
Site for everything.
I have a hierarchy. Here's the descendants. No, but it just people put it up and like I couldn't break up with her. She would come drive up and be at my house and be like, I don't want to break up. It's like, and so finally I cut her off. She ended actually going. She had a nervous breakdown. Ended up in a home for 6 months. I felt bad. But there's a situation where I had told her we're not together. And she's like, we are together. I'm like, I'm gonna date other girls. And she was like, she would come a week later and be like, you're cheating on me. I'm like, I told you. You think we're together. I finally blocked her from being able to come to the house. I told my butler guy, don't let her in. Because he would let her in because she was always living with me. So many sides. Human mating is the ultimate complex conversation. And so first off, there's something called adverse selection. Tinder is a SSG, a self-selected group of women who tend to be more short-term. In general, long-term mating women are taken for long periods of time. So when you meet a girl, so you got to ask the right questions on that first date. I can find out. I've luckily never really, I could have been cheated on. It's impossible, but I don't have many horror stories because I learned to read people. And it's like, especially as a man becomes a prince, you're on your prince king, you better be extra careful.
I got a question though, because obviously I read all of the red flags. I knew what was going on. I knew it was sketchy, but a lot of
Jack's first words to me, she's like a good girl, like so honest, loyal. She's like,
that's because you asked her conscious mind questions. Never ask a woman or a man conscious.
Let's get on the conscious versus unconscious minds. But I want to know.
Yeah.
Because obviously hindsight 2020, but I definitely remember thinking that it was very sketchy. And I was talking to my friends about it and I was hiding all the red flags from some other people, etc. Why do people know what's best for them, but they don't end up doing that? I knew it was probably not good to continue talking to her.
Yeah, but your unconscious mind, what's good? For example, was she beautiful?
Yeah.
Strong genes. Your primitive mind, the whispers of 10,000 generations are telling you, in the whispers of 10,000 generations, people didn't live that long. They're saying mate with her, have a kid. She's beautiful. That means low mutation load, low parasite load, high IQ, probably in her family. IQ and beauty is also correlated. So your genes are speaking. It's not even the wrong voice speaking. You have a combination of the modern world. Hominids are like, let's say 1.2 million years old, precursors to Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens, they guess, is maybe 300,000 years old. From 300,000 BC approximately to 25,000-ish BC, we were hunter-gatherers and tribes. Relative promiscuity, or I should say serial monogamy. One man often had a couple wives. Women did sleep around, had multiple lovers. They've studied this. Dr. Buss lived with the Ashe tribe in Brazil. They're still pre-civilization, rainforest people, Hadzas, all these. Then 25,000 years became farmers. The rise of real classic monogamy, real classic wealth disparities. You still have like all three of those brains. Genes don't change that. You have the hominid brain. That's why men will ruin their life, have built their whole life, career, wealth, family. They're driving, a dude cuts them off. They sometimes get out of the car and murder that guy. The guy didn't even see you through the wind. The primitive 1.2 million year old hominid brain, you get out and kill. Why'd that guy do that? Because he was in the 1.2 million. Then we have this hunter-gatherer mind. That's why we don't like the 9-to-5 job. Hunter-gatherers, even now to this day, they work about 4 hours a day. And they rest a lot and they joke a lot. And that's why the modern school system doesn't work. In the vast majority of Homo sapien time, you learn from mentors. You want to learn to hunt in the jungle? The old grandpa or the dad would be like, today we're going hunting. Follow me, young son. You're 11. It's time you learn. And you weren't lectured in a classroom hall. So sometimes you were with this girl using that, hunter-gatherer mind. Sometimes we do use this mind, which is like, that woman's my property. That's what happened with the rise of farming. So it's like, she should only sleep with me, And then you fast forward and we're in 2023, 2024, and it doesn't make sense, our behavior. But it does to a scientist. It does. And so if your goal is to have a modern perception, then you have to override your primitive, which is hard. Ain't nothing more dangerous to a man than a pretty face.